Read it with me. After these things, Jesus went away the other side of the Sea of Galilee, or Tiberias, and a large crowd followed him because they saw the signs which he was performing on those who were sick. Then Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat down with his disciples. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews was near, and therefore Jesus, notice that therefore, that when you ever see that word therefore, it means because of what's before it, something happens. Therefore, Jesus, lifting up his eyes and seeing the large crowd was coming to him, said to Philip, what are we to buy? Where are we to buy bread so that these may eat? This he was saying to test him, for he himself knew what he was intending to do. Philip answered him, 200 denarii worth of bread. In other words, basically 200 days of average salary for the day. 200 days' wages would not be enough for them, for everyone to receive a little bit. So, is it fair that God tests you? Notice what happens. Jesus looks at Philip and says, Philip, where are we going to get bread to take care of all these people? And Philip says, that's your department, Jesus. Because even if we had 200 days' wages, more than half a year of people working, even if we had those days' wages for 200 days, there's no way we can feed all of these people. I want you to know something, folks. God tests you for a reason. And some of us get very upset with God when he tests us because we don't like the material. God tests you because you need the testing. It will bring out things in your life and in your patience and in your experience that you'll never gain any other way. So when God tests you, you're going to say, well, God, there's nothing you can do. When that bill comes, well, God, there's nothing you can do. When that challenge comes to your faith, well, God, there's nothing you can do. How have you done with the latest tests? Because if God wasn't testing you, he's not being fair to you. Let's keep reading in verses 8 through 14. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, there's a little boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. He's already heard Philip say, Lord, 200 days' wages can't take this. And Andrew says, oh, hey, but Lord. He keeps going. But what are these for so many people? What are the, if you got a Bible, underline that. What are these for so many people? Jesus said, have the people sit down. There was much grass in that place. So the men sat down and numbered about 5,000. Jesus then took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed to those who were seated. And likewise also of the fish as much as they wanted. And when they were filled, he said to his disciples, gather up the leftover fragments so that nothing will be lost. So they gathered them up and filled 12 baskets of fragments from the 5 barley loaves, which were left over by those who eat. Therefore, when the people saw this sign which he had performed, they said, this is truly the prophet who has come into the world. If it's not spoken to us or spoken to us like an adult would speak, we don't listen to it. And yet Jesus said, you have to be like a little child, didn't he? He said, you have to have the faith of a kid that looks at that sack and, what? You ever wonder what the little boy said? When the disciple said, hey kid, I need your lunch. I see the kid going, why? Backing up, you know, that's what I see. But I also see a little kid that says, what if that disciple said, Jesus needs that? Here it is. Why do we not respond like that so often when God talks to us? All he wants to do is say, what's in your sack? You see, Jesus is asking you today, what's in your sack? What's in your sack? I've had people in every place I've been say, I wish I could do something like, I wish I could do that like so-and-so. You're not so-and-so. If you had been, God would put that in your sack. Some of you are sitting today and you're thinking, well, I don't have anything in my sack that's worthwhile or good enough. I can't play like that person. I can't say like that person. I can't do this. I can't do that. There's nothing in my life, nothing in my sack worth giving to God. And for some of you, the enemy has beat you up and beat you up and beat you up and beat you up and convinced you that there's nothing in your sack worth giving to God. I want to tell you, folks, no matter where you've been, what you've done, and what's happened in your life, you've got a sack. Some of you here today, and you're thinking, what's in my sack isn't big enough, isn't beautiful enough, I don't have as much experience, there's not enough in my sack. can God use this? Well, so I'm telling you, if God can use a quadriplegic woman to sell over 50 million books, to be one of the most requested graduation speakers at universities, you're telling me that what you have in your sack doesn't matter? Well, then what grade are you in? First grade, Elijah. Second. We've got some really experienced kids up here. Okay? They understand childhood. I don't know if they're good in math, science, English, reading. But what I know is God's given them a sack. Just like God's got a sack for Lauren. Now Lauren's got a little bit more experience than Molly and Elijah. But Lauren's got a sack. And even though these two kids up here probably have no clue all that God has for them in their sack, they've got a sack just like every single one of you. But there's just some of you that want to do this with your bag. You want to hide it where no one can see it. Some of you just want to do this. I was hoping Mike would catch that. When you walk out those doors, you take your sack with you. Whether you got one from up here on the altar or not, when you walk out those doors, you take your sack with you. So let's pray. Lord, use us today. And use what's in our sack. Help us to give it joyfully and willingly to you. Lord, trust you for this in greater ways and for greater things. In Jesus' name, and all God's people say, Amen.